It looks like we saved up a little bit of money while we were gone. 5,702 billions, which means we have access to all sorts of heroes we had no idea even existed before, including King Midas. So right now I would like to direct your attention to their health bar. It's dropping pretty quickly, but not overly. If I hire King Midas here for $4,000, their health bar starts to drop a little bit quicker. And if I get this expensive idiot to level 10, I can increase all gold found by 25%, and we're already finding it at a pretty good pace. And King Midas is now worth 96% of my total DPS, so he's doing pretty good for himself. We're also going to get these two just because I don't have them yet. And we're sitting at 7,619 million DPS, but I'm going to get this hero up to level 10. Because wouldn't you know it, their skill is increase the DPS of all heroes by 25%. So if I click on this, we go from 9 million DPS to 11,000 millions. And then with the rest of my money, I'm going to buy 10 levels for them and then double their DPS. That gives us 12,225 million DPS. So let's see what this new boss thinks of that. Well, that was easy. I think we're doing it within the 30-second time limit. We're doing it within 3 seconds, and I'm not happy with that. We need to be doing better. Why does it sound like a goat when it dies? Level 49, the money's getting better and better. We're back up to $210 billion already. And every beautiful creature we kill here gives us another $4 billion. Well, let's try the level 50 boss. It's sure to be very memorable. He's actually very strong because look how slowly his health is dropping. And considering how much we just upgraded, I would have had no chance with him before we upgraded. But we're still doing it in, 2/3 of the time, but I bet he's going to give us a lot of money. We're going to go from 347 billion all the way up to 414 billion, so he's worth about $60 billion to kill. He looks so innocent. And I guess for now, we're just going to upgrade Sir George II. Every upgrade, though, is going to make a pretty big difference. That added like 10% extra DPS on top of what we were already doing. Still getting about $10 billion per death here. I feel like the difficulty is going to start escalating quickly because I'm at 52 and things are slowing down quite a bit already. And considering the upgrades we bought when we started, that's pretty ridiculous. Moving on to level 54, that health bar is not dropping quick enough. So we're going to upgrade Georgie here 2 more times. That's going to give us 15,800 million DPS per second. I am getting about $45 billion per kill here, but it's going so slow that it's hard to justify. So let's upgrade Sir Georgie one more time, which brings our total DPS to 17,000 million, and try the boss. Super Fat Bat, whose health definitely isn't dropping fast enough for us, so we're going to have to go back somewhere and save up some money. He's probably my fastest earner right now, so I'm going to let the game murder him for a while I go and do other things. But now the $1 million question, was all this extra damage enough to power me through the boss? And disappointingly, I still don't think it's fast enough. It's pretty close, but we're not going to be able to defeat it yet. 2 times multiplier to all your damage forever. Long story short, we now have 1,304 red diamonds. So let's spend 50 of those on a 2 times damage multiplier. That should put us ahead nicely. Now we're up to 92,876 million. Now, as for this boss, it should be dying. It's still not going to be by a large margin, but it should die within the 30 seconds. And our reward for that is pretty big. I want to say that was $600 billion all by itself, but we'll wait till it dies again. $700 billion per death. That's $700 billion every 30 seconds or so. This is making money pretty quickly. However, let's pretend I waited here for a full 24 hours. That bumped me up to 3,699 trillion, which is a really, really big number. Look at all the new heroes that unlocked just by doing that. Mazu here alone is going to add 4,223,000 billion damage. That's 40 times the damage we're doing now. So we're going to get one of those. And then, yeah, we're going to be able to kill these monsters a little bit quicker. And while we're at it, I guess we'll buy some of these guys too. I am going to go back and upgrade King Midas though, because once he hits level 10, we get an extra 25% gold. And that's actually a huge increase in income. And then let's see if we can get him to level 25 to get another increase. Yep, we sure can. Now extra gold. Well, we're now getting 50% more gold, and at the rate we're killing things, that's going to add up pretty quick. So let's see what the new boss is all about. Dearth Bat. It's dead. I am pretty happy how quickly we're wiping out things and the amount of money we're making, so we're just going to keep on cruising along till something stops us again. Actually, I do think we'll get past him, but not by much. We crossed the halfway mark at about 16.5 seconds. So we should have him defeated with about 3 seconds to spare if my estimate is correct. Well, it was 2 seconds to spare, but that's fine. We get about 120 $20 trillion every time he dies. And we can still do a little more damage. So we're going to upgrade Refrigerator 10 times and then give him this, which means he now makes up 30% of my total DPS, and that's saying something. So now he dies with about 11 seconds left to spare. Then I'm going to step away from the game for about a week to see how much money piles up while I'm away. That means we're done all the way up to level 69. And gives us $4,936 quadrillion. In the meantime, I'm going to collect some coins from Nagu, and then we're going to give 10 levels to Amenhotep, and then also double Amenhotep's damage. So we're now doing 3,164 trillion. And just to be nice, I'm going to upgrade both of these to level 10 to get their level 10 abilities, which is just going to add a little bit more damage. Okay, even these bosses are dying pretty quickly. We might have overdone it a little bit on the damage. I can kind of click on them. Can I combine these two? Oh, I can. There we go. Look at the money explosion. The game doesn't know what to do with all this. And how is the boss at level 75 going to hold up? A little bit better than I thought, but it takes us 4 seconds to murder it every time, and it rewards us with a pretty good amount of money. The damage is definitely slowing down already. We're going from absolutely destroying everything into a goo pile to things are now taking a little over a second to murder. Which makes me wonder if we're going to be able to defeat the next boss without any further upgrades. But we're passing a moment of truth. We need to be halfway through the skull for 15 seconds. We're actually a little bit shy of the rate we need. So we're going to give it one of these, and that might be all the difference we need. And oh, it's so close. Okay, we're just going to upgrade this guy as many times as we can. That should make the difference. It's still cutting it close, but I think he's going to die. It brought me to an astral rift. I was kind of hoping to hang out and kill the boss for a while, but we do have 8,848 Qs, which will allow me to buy Aphrodite, Goddess of Love, whose DPS by herself at the level 1 is 161 quadrillion. So let's buy one of those. Yeah, that's much faster. So for now, we'll do the same with Athena. There's 10 levels for you, plus double damage. And the General also has a perk at level 10 to increase DPS of all heroes by 25%, which is going to be pretty good considering we're at 1,059 quintillion DPS. And I don't know, there's just something very satisfying about murdering him and making it rain gold. And the level 85 boss looks like a pile of ash on the ground. The level 90 boss looks like a peach. I don't really know what the level 95 boss looks like because it's just kind of a puff of smoke. It's called Fat Floatsy though. Level 96, the enemies are a little bit hard to see. I presume level 97 is going to be more of the same. While we're waiting to get through level 99, let's get 10 levels for Shinatobi and then double his damage. And he's going to make up 9% of my total DPS, which is considerable. I think we just added about 10% overall. And there's got to be something good for level 100. A hamster. No, it's a cat. It's kind of in between a hamster and a cat. Either way, it dies very quickly. And it gives me enough money that it's actually moving my money meter again. And nothing's really done that in a while because I have a lot of money. But I do also have 2,729 sextillion, so we're getting up there. Maybe the 105 boss will slow me down. It will just a little bit, the big angry potato. It's going to take a full 5 seconds to kill it, which makes me think the level 110 boss might actually be able to stop me. And look at that, right as we hit 109, we can afford an upgrade for $1,000. So that's going to take our damage from 1275 Q to 2500 Q. That doubled my damage. So let's see what the level 110 boss thinks of that. Primal Mama Fernie Bat. We are able to defeat it, but not by a large margin. But I bet it's going to give us a lot of money. Basically 1,000 sextillions per death. So we're going to farm her for a little while to catch up. And we get another gilded hero. This one's the Fire Mage, and I didn't even know I had one of those. And I just realized that Shinatobi, his second skill at level 25, increased DPS of all heroes by 10%. So we're going to upgrade him the 15 times we need to do that, and then get that, because that's going to put my DPS up to 4,107 quintillion. And that makes me wonder how many other damage boosters are hiding down in people's rows of skills. I decided to test that randomly, and I found one on Beastlord. His level 75 skill does increase DPS of all heroes by 10%, and reboosting heroes like that, that's actually a ton of damage. Plus, getting him that high of a level only costs 1,176 quintillion dollars. Plus, that's 240 quintillion, but that's absolutely worth it. So I'm thinking that everything less than Beastlord, we're going to upgrade a whole bunch to try and find their better skills. See, there's increased DPS of all heroes by 20%. I wish I found this earlier. Then I'm just going back to buying 100 levels for multiple heroes and hoping they have something worthwhile. This one's kind of interesting. Multiply your current DPS by 1.05 for the duration of your world. Stacks up to 20 times per ascension. Anyways, we're going to keep going, buying 100 levels at a time because look at all his fun stuff. His high level skill will increase my click damage by 0.5%. I'm going to do that anyway because as we hit things, we're going to do 110 quintillion damage. My Fire Mage has a skill for metal detector plus 100% gold drop. So that sounds pretty interesting. Here's one for increase your critical hit chance by 3% and increase your click damage by 0.5%. And Alexa the Assassin for 12,000 million, increase your critical click damage multiplier by 5. That's actually going to be really big critical hits. And then we're also going to get plus 50% chance of critical strikes using a lucky whatever. Then for Leon the Furry, we're going to get an extra 25% DPS. So now we're all the way up to about 14,000 quintillion DPS just because we went and upgraded some old heroes for really a small amount of money overall. Ivan the Drunken Brawler has a skill called Power Surge, plus 100% DPS while it's active, plus increase your click damage by 0.5% of your total DPS. Then again, 0.5% of your total DPS. So now when I'm clicking, I'm doing 345 quintillion damage, and if I get a critical hit, it's 5100. And Grant needs a level up. Grant needs a few levels up, so we'll just give him a few more levels. And now stuff is going back into melty mode. Let's try 115. The boss, the big Dirge Beetle, is not going down as fast as I would like, but he is still losing health. We'll get right on through him, and he has like 1,000 sextillion health, like a septillion health is probably in the neighborhood. It is going to give me a lot of money every time he dies. Oh, so also I can click on this. Increase DPS of all heroes by 25%. So that added like 1/3 of our damage again, 37,000 quintillion damage. Frostleaf is really going to take a long time to unlock. For a little contrast, Grant now makes up 98% of my total DPS. Shinatobi makes up 2.01%. Aphrodite, who is still a very expensive hero, makes up 0.03%. Anything above that is negligible. None of these really matter except for their bonuses. And then when I unlock Frostleaf, even Grant the General is going to be basically useless. So about that level 120 boss, Primal Emperor Scorpinch, who's definitely not dying nearly quickly enough. What if I hit him with all my powers? Will that kill him? It'll help a little bit, but we're still nowhere near the pace we need to be. Even with all those clicks and critical hits, oh, we might actually make up for it with critical hits. We weren't really supposed to be able to kill him, but thanks to my critical hits, that actually worked. And I feel like he gave me a lot of money once I killed him. So we can upgrade the General probably quite a few times. Yes, many times, and then we can double his damage. That bumped us up to 205 sextillion damage per second, which is enough to kill him, with almost 10 seconds left over to spare. So that was a big jump up in damage, and look at all that profit. So just imagine how much money and damage we're going to have after I let this actually sit for like a week.